Hi. So welcome to our shir. We have another amazing Gemara ahead of us. Shabbos, Kuf, Lamed, Zayin. We are in at the moment Kuf Lamed Vav Amud Aleph still. Kuf Lamed Vav Amud Aleph towards the bottom of the page. We're going to learn today about a stillborn baby and about a baby who died early. What is the halachic status of premature death for babies? Yet baby mortality that has enough commitments la halacha, Yibum, Shiva, all kinds of things. We're going to discuss androgynous, the third gender in halacha, and so much more. Omar Abaye, this year's Leilu Nishmas, my father, Menachem ben Akiva, the Atzala Atzloch of all of Klal Israel, El Ilu Nishmas, the Kedoshim. Omar Abaye, Omar Abaye. Before we start with Omar Abaye, let's give an introduction. We've learned in the previous Amud and in this one that basically if a baby dies, let's actually start the other way. Let's start the other way. Let's start the other way. When the Torah is telling us that Pidyon Ben has to be done, past the 30 days and not before, says Rab Shimon Gamliel, the Torah is sending us a clear message. The Torah is telling us that we're not really sure whether the baby is considered to be alive or dead until he's 30 days old. Why? Not because we're waiting for him to gain strength and, gain more, whatever, durability. That's not the point. We're trying to figure out, is this baby really a baby that had full pregnancy, or maybe is really premature? Maybe that baby was born too early in the 8th month and there's no chances of survival. And because every baby has that suffix, we treat every baby as a suffix and is considered to be dead, so to speak, or at least suffix alive until it hits 30 days. And the animals would be the same thing. An animal, the first 8 days of its life, we're going to say no. Yeah, the 8th day, I mean 7/8, at the end, after 7 days, you can bring the baby behem as a korban. Beforehand, no. Why? We're not sure if the baby had full pregnancy. Enochinami, you're going to say, I know my wife, is a 9 month and we have it in ultrasound and we have it in a checkup. Okay. The Gemara does say clearly that even according to Shimon Gamliel, if Kimli Bekolol B'Chodoshov, if we know 100% sure that she's 9 months pregnant, no tashmish or whatever, maybe today it could be medical, whatever that is, then enochinami, we treat it differently and we assume that the baby is alive. But any normal baby that was born on what supposedly is a 9 month, but we're not 1,000,000% sure, Rashbag would consider that baby as if he didn't yet get into life. We're not sure he had full pregnancy. We're not sure he's considered as halachically alive. And therefore, within the 30 days, we're holding our breath. Yeah, we're still not sure if he's called halachically alive at all. Now, that was Rav Shimon Gamliel. Chachamim argued on him. Chachamim say no, which means what? According to Chachamim, every baby, once born, the baby is considered to be alive straight away, and we don't think, we're not assuming there's a suffix here. We assume the baby is alive because, most mothers, most births are really 9 months. So we assume that everything is fine. That is according to Chachamim. We will delve much more into this machloikis now. Omar Abaye says Abaye as follows: Nofal min agag, oyacholoi ari. Let's say the baby fell off the roof, lo aleinu, or eaten by a lion. What does that mean? There was a sudden death that had nothing to do with his medical condition. Yeah, the baby can be as healthy as a bull, but the mice, he fell off the roof, eaten by a lion. In today's world, there was a car accident, I don't know, airplane crash, nothing to do with his matzav, his medical matzav. Divahakol chayu. Everyone would agree, even Rab Shimon ben Gamliel would agree, that this baby is considered to be alive. We assume that the baby was alive, meaning he had 9 months, because everyone knows that most mothers who make it to hospital to birth did go through 9 months. So we don't always have to be so paranoid and so choishish. He died. What does that have to do with anything? His death had nothing to do with the medical situation, doesn't reflect anything about dead pregnancy. Kipligi, when do they argue and Rashbag starts saying, I'm concerned that he may be really dead. In other words, he was born already too early and is likely to die. Shapiek v'mes. Let's say the baby piek v'mes, which means, let's say the baby just yawned, he gave a good yawn, which showed some sign of life, and then he died. He showed the minimal sign of life, but not more than that. Yeah, get a good yawn he had, yeah? Mar sovar chayu, umar sovar mesu. Oh, the Nekama says, Chachomim say, listen, it is weird that he had such a short life. He showed some signs of life, and I don't know if it was a minute or two or half a day. He died, like, very early. Chachamim say, okay, that's very sad, but we still assume that the pregnancy was a 9-month pregnancy. So the baby was born and then died. Well, Rashbag would say, no, I interpret such a crazy situation of barely making it into life. He showed some sign of life and then died. That shows me that reflects upon the fact that the pregnancy was too short and really is a preemie. So really, what are they arguing about? That baby that had such short life, is that baby, did he have, let's say died after half a day, was he alive for half a day and then died? Or do we say no? He was an 8-month old, which we said is like he never lived. He never got it he never made it to life. He was born by the 8th month of the pregnancy, which means he's like a stone, he's like a nothing, he's like a stillborn, and he was never ever really alive. Frag the Gemara, the mind of Kamina, who cares? At the end of the day, he's dead. He's dead. I mean, very sad, feel bad for the folks. But Lamaisa, at the end of the day, now he's dead. Who cares whether he was alive and then died, or he was dead to begin with, halachically? Answers the Gemara, liftor mina yibum. Oh, very, very, very good. Which means, does the mother, let's say her husband died before the baby died, yeah? Father of the baby died before. Does she need Yibum or not? Which means we all know that a woman who died, no, excuse me, the man died. A man died and he left behind, did not leave behind children. She has to go to Yibum. She either has to marry his brother or really to do Chalitza, right? Yeah, the chalitza in order to allow her to go and marry whoever she wants. Now, that is only if she had alive. That's if she never had any children. But let's say she had one child and then the child died. I'll give you a very extreme example. Let's say the father died when she was pregnant. Yeah, went to Gaza, Lo'olenu, Fer, Kodesh, Hashem Yikom Domai, when she was pregnant. Now the baby is what? Is 2 months old and he died. Does she have to do chalitza now? Because he has no children behind, he didn't leave behind? The answer is no, she doesn't. If she had a child who definitely was alive and then died, she can marry wherever she wants. She doesn't need to do Yibum. Aha! Now we get the nafkamina. If we say that that baby was never alive, like Rashbag, the father in Shemaim did not leave behind children. She gave birth to a kid of screaming and kicking and yawning, and then died. Then we say there was never a child, right? That wasn't a child. There was never a live child that he left behind. So she needs Yibum according to Rashbag. The Shaker, according to Tanakama, they say, they say, even though there's only pihuk, only very short life, aber lemaise, we still assume that most women, as Rashi says, most women do give birth when after a whole month. Rov yoldus einan mepilois, says Rashi. We assume it's not called a hapala, it's not called, miscarriage, it's not considered to be stillborn. So she had a baby, Mazel Tov, half day life. There was a gilgul of a tzaddik who only had to be mashlim a little bit. I don't know these things. Aber lamaisa, there was a live baby. He died half a day later. Who cares? That father in Shemaim in the Shama did leave behind a baby that was born. Now she can marry wherever she wants. She just have to wait, 3 months. Yeah, that's all. Now, Zog the Gemara, wait a second. Nofel minagag frek the Gemara is now asking a question. Are you sure about what you're saying? Nofel minagag goy ari. In other words, if there was sudden death, unexplained death, not unexplained, death that has nothing to do with medical situation, yeah? The baby was 2 months old. No, 2 weeks. The baby was less than a month old. If you made it to 30 days, then of course he's alive, right? The baby's 30 days old, or by animals, he's 8 days old, for sure he's alive. But let's say before he made it to 30 days, he died tragically, accidentally, car crash, eaten by a lion, eaten by a bear. If you live in America, these things do happen, yeah? Yeah, it fell from the roof, from the thing, yeah? Divrei hakol chayhu. Are you sure that everyone considers him to be alive because there's no connection between his death and yet was alive until something happened, and we don't assume, nobody, even Rashbag, assumes that it was bad pregnancy and like miscarriage. Yeah, we say, yeah, are you sure that we consider him to be for sure alive until the sudden death? Is that so? I'll prove you otherwise. Veho, listen to this. Av Popo. V'avuna Breda Yeshua. Story time. What did the Eligam Eroim do? Iklu lebei Breda of Idi Barabin. They came to the house, they chanced upon, they happened to come to the house of the son of Ovidi Baravin. David Luigla Tilta. We're talking now again about the animal. Animals, we assume, live only the first 7 days, right? First 7 days of the life of the animal, of let's say the calf. What do we say? Same thing. You want to tell me that only if the animal yawned and died, then Rashbag would connect it to bad pregnancy, it's kilo miscarried. But if, let's say on day 3 or 4, that baby calf was eaten by a lion or shechted by a person, then what will you say? That everyone would say it's okay, no problem. Even Rashbag would say, seems to be alive kicking. I'm not holding my breath by every animal. Yeah, only by the one who mefahek. If so, listen to this. This beautiful host, yeah, the host, the son of Avidi Bar Avin, what did he do? Ovidlu igla tilta, yeah, he basically prepared for them a shena igla tilta. Igla tilta is always considered to be a delicacy. It's the calf that was the third of from the mother. In other words, the third child, so to speak, of the baby cow, which is considered to be the best one. The third child is always the best. Eaglet, because she's already older and more experienced. She's stronger. When she was young, she wasn't so. She gained power. Yeah, the mother is already better. So, Bimama de Shiva, that was on the seventh day of the life of that calf. Okay, so now you have to have, yes, so the first 7 days is when we said we don't know whether it's dead or alive. That's what we said before, but now we said otherwise. Now we said that, right? If you shecht it, so it seemed to be alive up until now, the shechita is like, falling off the roof, nothing to do with bad pregnancy. We now wanted to say it's considered okay, no problem. It's considered alive even according to Rashbag. If so, listen to what they said. Doesn't make sense. The Amrile, they told him, Rav Papa and Rav Huna ben Rav Shua told him, shucks, it rachitule ad le'urta, had you waited until the night, until that baby calf was past 7 days, yeah, le'urta to the night, hava achlinan minei. We would have eaten from him, from that meat. Hashtaloch linan minei. Now we don't eat from it. Let me explain. What happens the motzei motzei 7 days? What happens the night after 7 days? Then on the eighth day you can bring the baby. Now, although Rashi points out in the Ritva, you don't bring a korban b'night, but be'etzem, once 7 days are over, yeah, but the Leil Shmini, Motzei Shvi, Leil Shmini, you can already be makdish the baby, is already called be'etzem suitable for a krova, and I don't bring korban b'night. It's a technical thing. Oh, so what did they really say? They said, look, we are paskening like Roshbag. We said already, we paskening like Roshbag. And since we follow Roshbag, we say, no, we can't eat from that animal that was shechted before the end of 7 days. What do you see? You see that even though the death of the animal had nothing at all to do with its medical situation, he was shechted with a knife. And still, if we follow Roshbag, we are holding our breath and we are concerned as long as 7 days are not over, or 30 days by a human, we still say that probably he's muhzak not to be alive until he really gets the check, the tick box of 7 days or 30 days. So you see, you're wrong. Ella, therefore, we are tweaking what Abaye said. We are still holding with the same terms, but in a different application. Ella, shepiek v'meis divra kol meisu. Wow. Which means, if the baby died so prematurely, piek, and died, which means he had very short life and showed minimal signs of life, everyone, including Chachomim, assumed he was dead to begin with. We assume there was no Leda. It was a hapala. It was just a miscarriage, not hapala abortion, hapala miscarriage. In Hebrew, it's the same word. Yeah? there was a miscarriage, stillborn, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a doctor, but at the end of the day, there was no life here to begin with. Ah, kipligi, when do, there was we always assume, yeah, there was premature birth, maybe. Or maybe today we're aware of other pregnancy complications. Could very well be, could be right. Kipligi, when do Oshbag and Chachomim argue? Benofel menagag v'achol ha'ari. Wow, that's a bigger chiddush. Even if the death was not connected really to his health situation, to his health condition, the death was sudden, unrelated to anything to do with health, he went to daddy and mommy to see Zaidi in California and the car crashed, lo aleinu. Yeah, or the plane or whatever. Mar sober mesu, mar sober chayu. And oh, says Rashbag, even in such a situation, I still believe that a baby, unless he had 7 days if he's an animal or 30 days as a person, says Rashbag, I'm still concerned and I assume that he's dead unless known otherwise, meaning unless known that he had enough time passing. So according to Rashbag, until you don't spend in this world 7 days as an animal or 30 days as a person, you assume to be dead, meaning not yet alive. It's such a suffix, yeah, we still consider that kid, if he died before 30 days, it's Ki'ili was never alive. The mother needs chalitza and other nafkaminas. And Chachamim say no. Chachamim say it's not piak v'meis. No, if he died in a car crash, he looked very nice and healthy and wealthy for the first 2 or 3 weeks. I died before the month. How tragic! But he was alive. He was alive, and then he died. Why? Don't tell me about blah, blah, blah. No, most ladies they give birth the 9th month. Yeah, the 9th month. So don't tell me that it's a nefil. That's the same chloikis, but dafke noflim legaga cholavi. Now, with that, we're going to come to all kinds of stories and nafkaminas. Breder of Dimi, another story here about the son of an Amoire, a son of a Hilga Amoire. Breder of Dimi Bar Yosef, the son of Rav Dimi Bar Yosef, had a tragedy, lo leinu. Isyalid lehahu Yanuka. He had a baby boy, Baruch Hashem. He had a Yanuka. Begoit lo sinyoim in Shachiv. Within the first 30 days of his life, he died. Yosef Kamisab Hallelujah. Here's a nafkamina. Look, he said Shiva. That's an interesting nafkamina, which means he believed that the baby was alive, and then he died. Because if you have a baby that was never alive, you don't have to sit Shiva, right? You don't sit Shiva over chves miscarriage, right? Elamai, he was alive, and then he died, and that's how this Amora is viewing it. Yeah. Amar le'avua said his father to him. His father rebuked him. His father ashtocht him a little bit. Do you want to eat the nice food that they give people at the Shiva house? What are you gaining by sitting Shiva over what? Over a baby. Remember, guys, remember everybody in Torah anytime and here in Mamloez, we pass like Roshbag. Yeah? That the baby is considered as dead to begin with. So any baby who died of any reason within 30 days is considered to be died before he ever lived, kind of, yeah? If so, why are you sitting Shiva? You want to eat the nice food, tzavronisa, you want to eat the neck, the nice neck, or according to Tosfos, brings the Shem Orch, tzeidanisa is like tzeda laderech, food. You're trying to eat good food, what are you getting by sitting Shiva? Omer lei, now I gave him the answer, which I told you before, Kim lebei shekala lo I know my son, I know my wife, and I know myself, and I'm telling you that I know Kim Lee, I'm aware of, I know shekolu lo chodoshov. I know for sure there was a 9 month old baby. I know that there was 9 full months to that pregnancy. The pregnancy was nice, the baby was healthy, everything was good. Then he died. I don't know why, but he died for whichever reason. Even Rashbag would agree that that case, what you know, Kol Chodoshov, is beyond any doubt. If it's beyond any doubt, of course, we say that baby was alive and then he died. If he was alive, then he died. I'm sitting Shiva. Rav Ashi, another Maisa, similar story, very similar story. Rav Ashi, Ikla Be Rav Kana. Rav Ashi, yeah, happened to come to the house of Rav Kana. Eat Rabbi Milsa Begoy Klosin Yomin. Same thing. Within the first 30 days of the baby's life, the baby died. Chazir Yosef Kamisab Eluluyeh. He saw that he's sitting and being ovel halachically, sitting Shiva over the baby that died before the age of 30 days. Amarle, he told him, Lo sava lema, don't you know that? Don't you hold of Laha, the Omer of Yudah Omer Shmuel, of Yudah B'Shem Shmuel said, Halachic ben Shimon ben Gamliel. No, what did Shimon ben Gamliel say? Regardless to the cause of death, yeah, fell off a cliff, fell off a parachute, attacked by UFOs, PX, I don't care. What did we say? Within 30 days, he's always assumed to be dead unless proven to be alive if he hit 30. He didn't hit 30. So he never really lived. So what is sitting Shiva? Omar Le, same answer, same answer. Kimli bigave shekol alochodoshav. I know for sure. Kimli means Kimli or Kimle means I know 100%. Kimli means I'm absolutely 100% convinced. I know that this baby had full pregnancy, and therefore I don't care why he died. Because at the end of the day, I know there was full pregnancy. The baby was born healthy. Yeah. Then something happened. Under Zach, he was alive, and then he died. Itma, let's remind ourselves what we said at the beginning of Shir. What is the major nafkamina between a baby that was alive and then died rather than a baby who died before he was even born? Meaning he didn't yet have the 30 days tick and he died before that, which means its kid was never born. Its kid who died at childbirth. Nafka means Yibum. If you say that the baby was alive and then he died, she does not need Yibum. She had a child. The dead in Shemaim has a child. But if we say that he was never ever born, really, he wasn't halachically, medically slash halachically really ever born, so then we say, what about this baby? Not born. She miscarried. Then she, the lady, has to do what? Chalitza, Yibum, and then she can go on with life. And who is really saying this? Who's saying that? According to Rashbag, there was never life. So now remember this until the end of the sugya, because this will be the two boxes left open now in your mind. According to Rashbag, she definitely needs chalitza, because according to Rashbag, the baby died right from the start, halachically. So the father who is dead, Zichron Levrocho, the father Hashem Yikom Damo, Zichron Levrocho, never had a kid. She has to remarry Dafka, her brother-in-law, or do chalitza with him. Yeah, Mashiach and Lefi Chachamim, no. Lefi Chachamim, there was birth, Mazel Tov, amazing. Then he died. We don't connect the dots. We assume there was good pregnancy. Most women have normal pregnancies. And therefore what? We say that the mother does not have to do chalitza or yibum or anything. She can marry, the question is when, but she'll be able to marry whoever she wants. And that's it. That's the machloikas. So now let's see what happens next. Itma. What? Yibum or chalitza. She doesn't need to do anything. Hmm? מה זה גם ייבום? What do you mean? מה זאת אומרת? You're saying it's Michali? It's a good question. I hear what you're saying. Who, the what? Those who say you need chalitza and yibum? Rashbag. Rashbag assumes he's dead. So, then he died, so she needs yibum or chalitza. I think Vadai, because the lotion of the Gemara is mace. The Gemara repeatedly says that the suffix is, we pass in the suffix to assume his mom is dead. I hear a question. But the lotion of the Gemara repeatedly is mace, not misophic. We assume he's dead, yeah. Kach nearly. But I hear a question. I hear. You may be right. I don't know. Right. Itma, mace betoch shloshim. Now, again, what happened? Mr. So-and-so has what? A pregnant wife. And that's it. He goes to Lebanon or to Gaza. I don't know where he goes. You know what? He dies, right? And then she gives birth. These things actually did happen, yeah? Then she gives birth, right? Does she need Yibum or not? When did the baby die? Within 30 days. Not like he yawned and died straight away. 2 weeks, and then he died. Now, does she need Yibum Chalitza or not? That's a question, right? Meis b'toch shloshim. Ve'omda v'niskatsha. She's already assuming lakula. That lady jumped ahead, and she was not nesua yet. She's niskatsha. Yeah, she had another guy already, there, and the other guy gave her the ring. No nisuin yet, just kiddushin. Rat mukudeshesli. They don't yet live together. There was no chuppah, just kiddushin. And then the question is, did she do the right thing? Maybe she's wrong. Why? She's probably wrong, because who do we pass like? Rashbag. According to Rashbag, she's not allowed to go ahead and get married, right? So what do we do now? But she already got kiddushin, and we're not so happy to break a family that she started with the other guy. It's not so pashut. If she got the Kiddush from regular Israel, a regular Israel is allowed to be married to a Chalutza, then Eshes Israel, do the Chalitza and go on. Meaning, nothing happened, lady. Nobody needs to cry. Calm down. What do? We tell the Eshes Israel, listen, lady, between the Kiddushin and the Haisana, between the Kiddushin and the Chuppah, what do? Do Chalitza to play it safe and be on the tzad of who? Yeah, he does say Rashi Choletzes min a Sofek, but could be Sofek mean Sofek Roshbag or Chachomim. But you'd have to do Chalitza, right? More like Roshbag, because we assume your baby was dead. 1 second. And then marry, and then continue and do the chuppah. What?
She spits in his shoe.
No, she spits in the ground after she takes off his shoe. Right. If so choletzes, very good to who? To the brother-in-law. And then continue with your beloved guy. Im Eshes Kohen, that's tricky. Eshes Kohen is not so nice. Why? Eshes Kohen, a Kohen, midirabonon, is not allowed to marry chalutza. Just like you can't marry Grusha Midoraisa, can't marry Chalutza Midorabonon. Now, if she's Mukudeshes to a Kohen, she'll do Chalitza, that would stop her from continuing to marry him properly. So then we're Mekel, and we say, Ein Choletzes. Meaning, we're Mekel like who? Like Obonon. In the case of B'diavad, we don't break her future with Mr. Cohen, her new beloved man. So we say, you know what, let's glitch it, follow Rabbonon. We say that Kilu, the baby, was born and then alive and then dead. And then what? Then you don't have to do Chalitza. That's that was the opinion of who? Ravina quoting Rove. The Rav Shravi Mishmei the Rove, Rav Shravi quoting Rove, quoted him differently. Omar, he said, Achazu v'achazu choletzes. Both are choletzes. I'm not so mekel. Meaning, we go with Rab Shimon ben Gamliel through fire and water. And even if it's a kohen, we say, what do you mean kohen shmoin? What do you mean continue with beloved guy? What do you mean? We believe Rashbag all the way through, which means what? Which means that for sure your baby was never alive. If your baby was never alive, lady, then you're chayiv chalitza. You won't continue the kohen. Tough. Halacha doesn't always work the way you want it to work, right? So therefore, that's a machlokes. Are we sometimes flexible? And although we pass him like Rashbag normally, are we sometimes a bit flexible in case of, b'di'evet doichak? Do we sometimes tend to be mekel a korbanon or not? That's machlokes Ravina Ever of Shravia about what Rove said. Two Amoraim arguing, what did Rove say in Shiur? Amal Ravina Rav Shravia. Now Ravina wants to kind of explain his point to Rav Shravia. He says, Rav Shravia, you're wrong. You know why? What you're saying, that Rav is so machmir and says, no, who is chalitza? That's what he said last night. Be'uta, in last night's shir, that's what he said. On Torah anytime. No. Letzafra hodarbe. The morning after he regretted what he said, he revoked what he said, he changed his mind, and he was mekel, and he said, Nishkeferlech, if it's a kohen, let her continue, and let's rely on Rabbanon, who assumed the baby was alive. Omar Lei, he didn't like that at all. So now Rav Shravia replies to Ravina. Rav Shravia is a machmir. He tells Ravina, Shritua, you allowed her to go against the commonplace halacha Rashbag, and you allow her to go ahead and marry the Kohen without chalutza, relying on whom? On Chachamim, Yerabah the Tishrut Arba. May it be the next time you'll allow people to eat chalev. In other words, you're going the cooler direction, you will end up allowing people to eat chalev. The Ritva has a more interesting girsa, Tishrut Tarcha. Tarcha metrachta is what? Is a grusha, a divorcee. You're allowing a kohen to marry someone who needs chalitza, if you follow Rashbag, which we do. Next thing, you'll allow the oraisa, makes more sense. You're allowing the rabbanon. Why can't a kohen marry chalutza? Because tomorrow a kohen will marry grusha. That's your direction. It's a slippery slope. He was very upset, and he just didn't believe that that's what Rava said. Rabbi Yehuda Matya, weiter. Well, let's continue. I want to finish till the Mishnah today. Tomorrow there's Shir, Rabbi Sablin Eder. Thursday is tomorrow, regular Shir, and on Motzei Shabbos. Mitzvah Hashem. Yeah? 8:15ish. Rabbi Yehuda Matya, Omar of Sheis v'Omar of Chizda. What did Rabbi Yehuda say? Let's refresh our memories. Rabbi Yehuda said that an androgynous should have his bris milah done even on Shabbos. What does that mean? The Pashup Pshat means Rabbi Yehuda believes that although androgynous has the male organ and female organ, so what? Yes, the male organ. So he's 100% male. Okay, he also has female organ. He may also have 2 ears. Who cares? He has an organ of the man, so he needs to be Mila on Shabbos. Same thing. That was the Havamina to say, yeah? Zdog the Gemara, oh, wrong. Amav Shiz v'Yamav Chiza lo lekol Rabbi Dan Dorgan Zochar. Well, no, Rabbi is not saying across the board a blanket statement that really androgynous is always judged as a Zochar, and I'll prove it to you. Shima Tamer Ken, if you're telling me that androgynous is considered as a male, which is just another interesting feature, if so, the Erchin Yorech, there is a halacha, Parshas Bechukoisai, that every person who says Erki Olai, or the erech, the value of another person, olai, which means I have to donate to Beis Hamikdash the same value as another person. The Torah has a set value, you have a set amount of arochim, like a price list of arochim of people. For example, most of the person's adult life between the age of 20 to 60 is worth 50 shkolim set. We don't care whether you're a street cleaner or brain surgeon. And a woman between this and that age, in that age range, is 30. So men have their arachim, women have their values too. And because I don't know the svara there. I'm sure there is, but regardless it's only about age, to age and gender. In any case, an androgynous, if you tell me androgynous is male with a little bit of an addition, but it's really man, so let him be an erach like a man. And for erachim, you have to be a man or a woman, like Trump. Only two genders, men and women. It's a big chiddush, right? Either men 50 or women 30. It's a new thing today, only men or women, yeah? So, how do you know the androgynous is not? Maybe yes. Maybe androgynous is a man, and you've evaluated him like all other men. Between 20 and 60, for example, is worth 50, not 30. Says you no, I'll prove you wrong. Tanya. Look at that. It says in the Braisa, which comes from Vayikra, because Bechukoi says the end of Vayikra, it says Ha'ez Zochor v'lo tumtum androgynous. When the Torah tells you about evaluating male, it says Ha'ez Zochor to exclude tumtum or androgynous. Tumtum, some people say, is not true because tumtum is really a male or female. Just have to find out. But androgynous is the third gender. There is a third gender. Yeah, that is what androgynous. He's not a male. Okay. So maybe he's like a woman. Maybe he's a woman with an extra organ. Says Rashi, ve'im comes to exclude fani nekevis, which means zochor vadai, nekeva vadois. The only genders that erech applies to is the for sure male, for sure female. Velo tumtum androgynous, excluding tumtum whatever, excluding androgynous. Huh? So you see that androgynous is a third business, third gender, is not male, not female, right? Okay, but who says Rabbi Yehuda agrees to that? We're exploring a Rabbi Yehuda. Zog the Gemara Kufla Min Zayin Amud Aleph, the Stam Sifra Rabbi Yehuda. Stam Sifra, yeah, the sefer of Vayikra, the Medrash on Vayikra is what? Is Rabbi Yehuda. Yeah, Rabbi Yehuda is the Stam master of Sefer Vayikra. Here, look, we have here. Okay, whatever. I'm not going into details now, but the Stam Sifra, Sefer Vayikras Midrashim, unless known otherwise, were written by Rabbi Yehuda. So let's put two and two together. Let's try and understand. Zog Rabbi Yehuda, I'm the master of Sefer Vayikras Midrashim, and I'm darshaning to you, androgynous cannot be under any erech. If I see an androgynous down the street and I find it very cool, and I say, oh, look at that, without putting him to shame, I say, oh, look at him / her, and what his erech / her, all I don't have to bring nothing, zero. They have no value. Why? He's not a male, not a female, right? So, and yet Rabbi Yehuda over here said what? That the Mila has to be done even on Shabbos. Okay, let's continue. In our Mishnayos, in the Mishnayos of regular Mishnayos, not the Midrashim, a Mishnah, actually I think it's a Brisa, it says, Hakol Cherem the Kaddish is not Kiddushin. The Kaddish means Pora Aduma. There's a big discussion about who are the people that can do the Kiddush of the Mei Chatas, which means who are the people that can actually get to do or kosher, to place the afer, the ashes of the Pora Aduma, of the red heifer, on the Maim Chaim, on the Maim that are drawn from the river near Yerushalayim. That magic moment is when this water becomes becomes, kadosh, and you can sprinkle it on a tmei mace. Not everybody can do that. It's a very complicated sugi and yuma. Just a headache, I remember. Lamas, all kinds of droshes over there. Says Tanakama, everyone can do that act of sanctifying the water. Chutz micher shotev v'koton. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda, remember, we're in Rabbi Yehuda land now. Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'koton, cotton is okay. Upoisel be'isha androgynous. He says a woman and androgynous are disqualified. Shma mina, that what? That androgynous is clearly not a man. If anything, is like a woman or like a third gender. But he cannot do kiddush because only men can do and not androgynous. So we see two proofs proving the same direction. Androgynous is not a regular man, is not a halachic, you call a man. So I'm begging you, please, why is it that androgynous Mila is not just done, maybe done, is mesophic. Why do you do it on Shabbos? Chilul Shabbos for a third gender? Mila? You know why? I'll tell you why. Mishum dechtiv himoy lochem kol zocho ashen ezach. There's a special pasuk by here by Mila. By Mila it says Kol Zochor, every Zochor, which means both normal Zochorim and half Zochorim who are a separate gender, but have Tzad Zichru, so you can call them third gender all day long. But Lamaisa, he has, some kind of features of male, of masculinity, and therefore Kol Zochor come to include even the androgynous, even on Shabbos. By the way, Chachamim don't agree with that, and that's halacha. Halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. If someone has chas v'shalom baby androgynous, yeah, not recommended. But if that happens, what happens then? Then the bris milah is done, yes, but not on Shabbos. Nicht on Shabbos, nicht Shabbos gerät. Next Mishnah we will see in the morrow, Bezos Hashem. Thank you so much for coming here, all the amazing people. Thank you to Torah Anytime and to our YouTube channel viewers. Atzlocho, Vrocha, Gittin, almost Shabbos, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. See you tomorrow, Bezos Hashem. Tomorrow, and then, in one daf, we're finishing the parak. Bezos Hashem. Hopefully, on Sunday, we'll start a new parak. Invite all your friends and family to come. Koyach, Atzlocho, Vrocha.